Hello everyone, this is Suresh from Azure ADB. Today our topic is how to use the function called make underscore timestamp in PySpark. So this function creates a timestamp from individual date and time components like year, month, day, hour, minute, and second. So all inputs must be passed as integers. And this function is available in Spark 3 version 3 onwards. Now we'll see what is the syntax to generate the timestamp value by using make underscore timestamp. So if you want to do from individual components, then make underscore timestamp, then you can pass all individual components. Like you can pass year, month, days, hours, minutes, and seconds. And suppose if you want the timestamp including time zone, so apart from this year, months, dates, hours, minutes, and seconds, we have to pass time zone also. Suppose if you want to generate the timestamp from date and time, then you have to pass these two values, date and time. And if you want to get the timestamp with the time zone, then pass date, time, and time zone. So you can use either of these four methods to generate the timestamp by using make underscore timestamp. So now we'll see each argument one by one. So first argument is year. So this should be an integer value from 1 to 4 nines. And month should be an integer value from 1 to 12. And the day value integer from 1 to 31. And hour an integer value from 0 to 23. And minute an integer value from 0 to 59. At the same time, seconds, a uh, numeric value can be either integer or fractional from 0 to 60. So time zone is optional. So the time zone identifier, that means the time zone identifier is optional, like time zones like UTC, CET, America, or Los Angeles. So the value can be either an integer like 13 or fraction like 13.123. So this should be above, this should be part of seconds. Okay, so here for seconds, since I mentioned it can be either integer or fractional from 0 to 60. So the values, either an integer value, if it is integer, this can be like 1313, or if it is fraction, this can be like 13.123. So after using this function, what you will get is you will get a new column that contains a timestamp value. So this video the follows the content like how to create the timestamp by using make underscore timestamp function by using years, months, days, hour, minutes, seconds, and time zone. And second one is including time zone. Sorry, first one is with the time zone. Second one is without time zone. And third one is how to make timestamp from date and time without time zone. And we'll see how to create timestamp from separate columns, and how to create timestamp from literal values, and how to create timestamp with error handling, and how to handle invalid values, and finally how to write the code in Spark SQL. So first I'm importing the required functions. So mainly make underscore timestamp. So first scenario is how to create the timestamp column by using year, months, days, hour, minutes, seconds, and time zone by using make underscore timestamp function. So these can be written like make underscore timestamp. So make underscore timestamp from these arguments. Okay, so from these arguments, including time zone. So for this, what I'm doing, I'm creating one sample data frame. So my columns is this one. So I'm providing all the columns like year, month, day, hour, minute, second, and TZ for time zone. And relevant values I generate means I mentioned here. So this is year, month, date, hour, minute, second, and the second year I provided as fractional, and CET is the time zone. And by using spark.create data frame, I created the data frame. And if you see, these are all the columns. Here I'm getting created all these columns. Now my sample data frame is ready. So on top of this data frame, what I'm doing is I'm using with column, and my new column name is timestamp underscore column. And on top of that, I'm using make underscore timestamp function. And inside that, I'm passing all the column names. So here, whatever I have column names, all the column names I'm passing here. So if I pass this one, then what it generates is the new column is generated by with time zone. If you see here, 2008, this is year and month, date, and hour, minute, second. See here, date, month, sorry, year, month, day, and T, and 9 is, so 9 is this one. So this is converted as this time is adjusted as per CET. So 9:00:45. So this we are getting exactly. This 10 is becoming 9. So because of CET. Okay, so this 00 is time zone. So this how is created timestamp value with time zone. So next scenario is how to create timestamp value by using make underscore timestamp function without using time zone. So that means in earlier we used input column as time zone. So now this scenario I'm not using time zone. Without using time zone I'm going to create. Okay, so for this I'm creating sample data frame. So same data frame I took here, but what I did is I emitted this time zone values I emitted here. So remaining all same. And if you see here, this time zone column is not getting. So I want to generate the timestamp without using time zone. So next what I'm doing here also code is same. So only difference is I remove this time zone call here. So if you see my timestamp, so here timestamp is generated. And if you see earlier, if you see earlier, here I given CET, and here it is 10:45. Since I given time zone, this CET, since it is adjusted, I got 90. Instead of this 10:0, I got 90. But if you see here, since I'm not mentioned time zone, so I'm getting as it is. So it is not adjusted, I'm getting as it is. Okay, so next, how to make timestamp from date and time arguments without time zone. So here, just updating this. So for this, I created one sample data frame. So what I created is, instead of defining values, here I used spark.range1. So in earlier cases, I used spark.create data frame, and inside that data and columns I passed. So here, instead of that, I used spark.range1 because I want only one row. So spark.range1, on top of that, I used select, and inside that I passed two values. So one is date and one is time. So for generating time, what I used to lit function, and I'm passing as string value, that is the string data I'm passing here. And at the same time, here I'm using lit function for passing string of time. Okay, so I given alias column names respectively. So this is date and this is time. Now what I'm doing concatenate both this date and time. So here what I'm doing on top of this data frame. So here by using this, what you will get two columns. So one is date and time. So here what I'll do, I'll try to display this one. So you'll get idea. So if I try to run this one, now we'll get two data frames will get a display here. So first one is with two columns. One is date and time, and df underscore final, you will get, I think, two more columns, I think. So yeah, two more columns will get. Okay. So since I added display here, so this is our initial data frame. So that is this date and this time. So by using these two values, it generated the data frame. But if you see, since I used to lit, so both are string type, data type are string. So now by using this data frame, that is the df.df means this data frame. On top of this data frame, I'm adding one more column, that is date time underscore string. And how I'm generating is I'm doing concat. So concat is the function to join two string columns. So what I'm doing here, inside concat, I'm adding two columns here. So one is df dot date and df dot time. So that means these two column values I'm doing concat, and in between I'm using lit function to maintain the space. So to provide the space. So now if you see date time underscore string, see here, first we got this date, and since I used space here by using lit function, so I'm getting space here. After date, I'm getting space, then it printing time. So next on top of that, what I'm doing, I'm creating a timestamp from the date time string with the time zone. So that means now this is the date time value, that is string data type. So this one I'm converting to proper timestamp format and converting from string to timestamp data type. So for that, what I'm doing to convert from string to timestamp, here I'm using to underscore timestamp function. So inside to underscore timestamp function, I'm defining the column. That is, this is the column I want to convert, date time underscore string, and I'm passing the format here. So here I have year, month, date, and space, hour, minute, second. So the format I'm passing here. So now if you try to display this final one, so this string column will get converted to timestamp value. And if you see here, here we have only date, space, time. So after converting to timestamp, if you see here, this is a date and T is there, and we'll get T. T means time. If you see here, we have only hour, minute, second. But if you see here, hour, minute, second, millisecond, and plus 00 means this is time zone. Okay, so this is how we can generate the timestamp column by providing date and time values without time zone. So next thing is how to create a timestamp column from different columns. So for this, I'm creating one sample data frame. So here what I'm doing, I'm defining schema also here. So first I'm defining the data. So I have I'm passing four rows here. So first one is here. So this one I'm defining schema here, struct type, and inside that I have these many fields. So for first field, I'm writing like struct field and column name is here. That is, this is here, and this is integer type and true. True means I don't want to, means uh, whether we can pass null values or not. So that is you can pass as true or false here. So now second argument is this one month. So that is this field. So again, column name is month, integer value, true. And the next is a day. So that is this one, third field, struct field, column name is a day, integer type, true. And this is hour 10. So that is hour, that is fourth field, hour, integer type, true. And this is minute. So that is this one minute, integer type, and this 0 is second. So here column name is second, integer type, true. And final one is time zone. So for this column name is tz, and this I'm passing as string type. Now if I use PySpark.create data frame, I will get sample data frame like this. And if you see here, yeah, so since none is there, we are getting null here. So now on top of this, what I'm doing, I'm using make underscore timestamp function, and inside that I'm passing all the columns here. So year, so this year, month, day, hour, minute, second, digit. See here, all the columns I passed inside this function. So by using with column, that means I'm adding one more new column, that is timestamp underscore column. So here, so this is my new column. If I expand this, so based on these columns, so based on these columns, it's generating the timestamp. So 2019 213 T 1030 1030 and here milliseconds, these three zeros are milliseconds, and this is time zone. And at the same way here also 2018 to 14, and here it is T, and here we are getting 9. So actually it is 10:00 since we are giving CET, so it is adjusting the time. So it changing to 9. Okay, so 9 here 00 is there. We are getting 00, and this is millisecond, and this is time zone. And this one is 2022 1231 T, and this is 14:45:20 14:45:20. This is milliseconds, this is time zone 0. And since here we have one null value and time zone also is there, but still since null value is there, if we have at least one null, it will get output as null value. So here what I'll do, I'll add one more row without null value, show how America or Los Angeles date will get changed. So here I'll give 0 and I'll give comma and I'll try to rerun this one. I will regenerate my data frame. Now, if you see here, I have 0 here. Here it is America or Los Angeles. Now, if I try to rerun this one, here I will get add one more column. And if you see here, so this particular value, since 0 is there, so I'm getting the timestamp value 2020 10 to 2020 10 to, actually it is 2 and hour is 1800. Since I given America or Los Angeles, according to this timestamp, it got adjusted. So here, even date is 2, even though date is 2 and hour is 18 hours, so it is adjusted the time according to this. So day 2 become day 3 and hour 18 become 1. Okay, so based on this time zone, this time will get adjusted. So next one is how to create timestamp from literal values. So here what I'm doing, first I'm creating one data frame for single row. So for that, what we can do is, earlier I used spark.range1. If you see here, in earlier case, I used spark.range1 to create the single row. Here, one more method is, if you want to do same thing by using spark.create data frame is, so this is the code. So that means you provide single column and a single value, that is by providing list of tuple. So first is list and tuple is, so 1 comma. So 1 comma means this is tuple. So now on top of this data frame, I am adding 2 columns. So one is new year midnight and new year midnight null. So new year midnight, how it generating is make underscore timestamp. Here I'm using make underscore timestamp function and I'm passing year, year, month, day, hour, minute, second with lit function. So our heading is by using literal values. So that means all the values providing with lit function. And at the same way, if I want to generate a null value, what I'm doing, same I use using make underscore timestamp. So here, year, month, day, hour, minute, second. So for second, I'm passing as none. So if you have at least one none value, then it will return as null. So it won't generate the timestamp. And for this one, new year midnight, it generating the timestamp based on these literal values. So 2026, 11, 2026, 11, and all these zeros. And here one none is there, it will generate null. So now, how to create timestamp by handling error handling. So error handling means I will show you when we'll get error and how to handle this. So here I'm getting one data frame. This is my sample data and these are all the columns I'm defining here. So year, month, day, hour, minute, second. So my data frame got created here by using these columns, and on top of that, what I'm doing here, I'm giving some conditions. Suppose why I'm giving conditions is, if you see here month is 1, that is fine. So normally month values should be between the range of 1 to 12. If it is out of bound, then it will throw you error. Okay, so if you want to do, if you don't want to throw the error, then we have to use some conditions here. When and otherwise conditions we have to use. Otherwise, it will throw error. So if you see here 13, so 13 is the out of month, out of bound. So 1 to 12 is the correct our range month values. Since 13 is there, that is out of bound, so it will throw error if you don't use this logic. And at the same way, dates are fine, hour is fine. Okay, so only one value we have out of bound. In case, what I'll do, I'll try to rerun this one. I will show you what error you'll get if you don't use this logic. So here, what I'll do is, I will remove this logic. I'll remove this logic up to here and directly I will use this function. So here what I'm doing on top of this data frame, directly I'm using make underscore timestamp function, and inside that I'm passing all the columns like year, month, day, hour, minute, second, and I will remove this also, otherwise condition. So now if I try to run this one, what I'll do, error final, I'll give 0, 1, and here also I'll give 0. If I try to run this one, you'll get error. So make underscore timestamp is not defined. So first I will run this one. So here, here I defined. I will try to run this function. Then I will come back here. Again, I will rerun this cell. So it giving you error. What error it giving is invalid value for month of year. So valid values are 1 to 12, and what we defined is 30. So if you see here, so this 13 creating the problem. So that is out of bound. And what it telling is, if necessary, that means if you don't want to get this error, then it asking to enable this option. So if you make it to false, we can bypass this error. So that is one method. So one method is this one. So what we can do is here we can write like spark dot config dot set. So default Spark option is true. We had to set it to false. So default option is Spark. What I'll do, I'll try to run this one. So as per this suggestion, I will make it this one to false. So now what will happen? I don't touch this one. What I'll do, same code, I will copy paste here. Now it will run without error. So instead what it does is, instead of throwing error, it will print you null. And if you see this output, see here, instead of throwing error, it printing null. So this is method one, how to handle the error. So this is method one, and next one, by using logic like when and otherwise condition, that is method two. So in method two, what I'm doing is, now what I will do, I will try to enable this one, Spark default option. That is Spark default option is true. I will enable this one now. And what I will do now, instead of this one, I will make it, I will make it this one, like when and otherwise function, I will use it. So for this, what I'm doing here, up to here with column, this is same, and make underscore timestamp, this is same. What I'm logic is, what additional code is, I'm adding this when condition. So in when condition, what I given is call of month. So month column is greater than or equal to 1, and month underscore column is less than or equal to 12. So that means this month underscore call, this particular column values should be within this range 1 and 12. So if values are within this range, then it will do this function. That means make underscore timestamp it will do. If this condition is not is satisfying, then what it will do? It will print none here. That means null value it will print. Okay, so this is second method two. And next one is handling invalid values. So that means, so we saw now how we'll get this error. So here what I'm doing, I'm passing one sample data here, that is 2026 to 30. And by using spark.create data frame, I'm passing this data here and I'm providing, that means I'm mentioning the column names here. That is year, month, day, hour, minute, second. So here, if you look here, February month, we will get end date should be either 28 or 29, but we got as 30. So that is, this is out of bound. So if you try to create this function, make underscore timestamp, it will throw error like invalid date, February 30. February 30 is the invalid date. So what it telling, if really required, then this option asking to make it false. So like just now what I did, similar way, you can make it false. And if you rerun this one, this will generate as null value. Okay, so same code I will show you, since already it is activated as false. Now what it does is it will generate a null value. So here it generating null. Okay, so now since it is select, see here it giving this full name. No, to avoid that, I will add alias here. So alias invalid call. So if I try to rerun, this column name will get changed. Invalid call. And one more example is, if you do same thing in SQL, select make underscore timestamp 2019 13 1 10. So that means here I'm passing year, month, date, hour, minute, second, and time zone I'm passing here. So here if you see 13, that means this month is out of bound value. If you try to run this one, you'll get this error. So month of year, that means valid values 1 to 12. So what we provided is 30. So what is the solution is? So to change this one as false. So now we already changed, and if you try to run this one, now we'll get null value. Okay, so select make, and this whole thing is coming now. If I add alias here, alias as invalid call. Okay. So now our last scenario is same thing how to do in SQL. So Spark SQL. So either we can do in SQL or Spark SQL. So here I'm going to explain in Spark SQL. So df underscore ts is our initial data frame. So that is our initial data frame is this one, df underscore ts. So this one, or otherwise, instead of that, this is single row is there. Instead of that, what I'll do, this one I'll take it. So df underscore ts. So I will rerun that code because I added one uh, row here. So that particular column, what I'm doing is by using create or replace temp view, I'm creating one view here. So this is my some initial data frame. By using create or replace temp view, I'm creating one view here. My view name is time underscore table. So this will create one view. And after creating this view, I'm using Spark SQL. So spark.sql starting and ending with triple quote. And inside that, we need to write the SQL code. So here in sample table, our input columns are given up to second. So year, month, day, hour, minute, second. So these are all the columns we given at the input. And those columns I'm selecting. And at the same time, here I'm using make underscore timestamp. And inside that, I'm passing all these columns. And I given column name as full underscore ts. So based on these values, it generated the timestamp. See here, by taking all these values, it generated. I will try to rerun this one so that one more row will get added here. See here, this is the new row I added. So now this is Spark SQL. So next one is here select make underscore timestamp. So I'm passing one null value here. So instead of year value, I'm passing null. So if you have at least one null value, then your output will be null. So here I will give you alias as null value so that this column name will get changed. Okay. So next in SQL, select statement make underscore timestamp. So here what I'm giving providing the arguments is year, month, date, hour, minute, second. That means without timestamp, without time zone. And one more select statement is that is with the time zone. And here also this is with the time zone. And this one is UTC and here values are different. And instead of same UTC, what I'll do, I will provide this one, America or Los Angeles. We'll see what difference will come. Yeah, this one I will add there. So in second, I will add America or Los Angeles. And third one is CET. And fourth one is without time zone, but seconds in fractional. And one more value is seconds in fractional with CET. And final one is with the time zone PST. So here I wanted to create different rows. If you see different rows with the different scenarios, like with the time zone or without time zone, and seconds in the form of integer and fractional. So I'll try to rerun this one. And between each select statement, I used union null. to union all the values here. And if you see here, I first thing is 2019. Here there is no time zone, so we'll get same values. So 2019, 7, 1, 23, 59, 60. So 29, 59, 60 is there, so it's becoming 7. And if you see this one, UTC, so that is 2019. So this also converting to 1. So I think default time zone is taking UTC. So that's why we're getting same result here. So whether you mention time zone UTC or not, it taking same way. And third one is 2019 6. So since it is America or Los Angeles, this date is adjusting according to the time zone. If you see here 2019 7 1 7 1 5 5 19 20. See here 5 19 20. So 5 means remaining it adjusting here. Remaining hours it adjusting here. And at the same time here 2019 6:30 6:30, and here we have 23 59 60. So as per CET time zone, it adjusting the time. And if you see this one, fractional time, so 45.887. So that means we are getting fractional value. And this one is fractional value with CET time zone. So it will adjust according to this 2024 1280 28 is 6:30. So this 6:30 it is changing here. So that 6:30 becoming 5:30 here. So 1 hour difference. And here 2019 11 1, and this 10 11 12. So 10 11 12. So this PST is 7 hours difference. So that 7 hours it adding here. So instead of 10, we are getting 17 here. So you can try with the different time zones here, adding here. So you can observe this time difference with your input value and output value. So these values, you can Google it and you can see the comparison. So for each time zone, what is the time difference? So that's all about this video, how to use make underscore timestamp to create the timestamp column. So that's all about this video. If you really like this video, please like and subscribe. Thank you.